what is the process of choosing or declaring a major in an undergrad?
Yeah.
And that is one area of concern for a lot of students. And you know, more than students, it's for parents, and they are anxious. Why they decide? You can
Yeah.
help them with the process of choosing or declaring a major in an undergrad, and why is it like nothing is going to happen if you don't choose it when you enter into college? So
Honestly, if you know what you want to do in college, that's okay. But honestly, for the most part, if you do that, you're being too rigid. Because the beauty of U.S. education system is just how much you can explore. And as you said, the whole interdisciplinary approach that they take to education. I remember I ended up taking classes on all sorts of things that I'd never imagined. Psychology, philosophy. I took this class on just understanding. This will be strange, but understanding the concept of evil. Who do we consider as evil, and why, and what is the whole connotation behind that? And there are a bunch of theories by Nietzsche and all of these other people, and it was so fascinating. And I was like, well, I want to take this class. It has nothing to do with computer science. Another one was basically a bunch of writing courses, a bunch of language courses. I took a bunch of other courses like that had nothing to do with my major. And that, I think, is it really helps you grow as a person and not just become like for me, for example, just a techie who doesn't know anything else. And so it's actually good if you don't know what you want to do, because then you're going there with an open mind. You're really exploring all that the university has to offer. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that you basically just go and like take all classes, because you just can't do that. And so it certainly helps to have some direction, right? Okay, maybe I want to do STEM. Maybe I want to basically do, literature or something kind of very broad that you can then kind of go and really figure out there what exactly in that you want to do. But even if you don't have that, there's absolutely no problem. And most people actually would be in the same boat as you. Who would not know what they want to do, who want to basically explore various things. I know people who started off with, with creative writing and with religious studies, and ended up becoming CS majors by the end of the course. And today, some of them are entrepreneurs, some of them work at companies like Meta and Google and whatnot. And so, everything is possible. And, these universities really provide you the opportunity to kind of, create your journey. And no one really kind of expects you to have all the answers when you come in. Regarding the process, at Stanford, we're not we have the option of not declaring until the end of the sophomore year, which is the second year. So you have full 2 years to kind of explore. And even when you do, you certainly can change majors anytime during your undergrad career. Now, of course, that has some practical implications in that, if you want to change your major in your last quarter when you're supposed to graduate, then obviously it's really hard for you to graduate on time, because you wouldn't have completed the requirements of that program by then. But that's okay as well. And I know a lot of people who just realized towards the end that they hated whatever they were doing and they wanted to do something else, and who delayed their graduation. So that's possible. There are people who take gap years. They drop out for a year or two to work on entrepreneurial ventures, and that's totally okay in the U.S. I know that's considered really favorably, because that shows that you're really taking the time to think about critically what you want to do, and you're working on something where your passion is, and you're creating something worthwhile. And if, by the way, if that works, then that's awesome. There are fellowship programs that are specifically catered to people who want to take time to reflect and drop out of school to be able to do that. And so that should be very telling that, if there are people who are willing to actually give you the money to take a drop year, that's big. That's like, saying that the U.S. actually prefers and values that over you continuing a university without knowing what you want to do. So there's a balance again, to kind of like just sum it up. You please explore. It's totally okay if you don't know what you want to do. And by the end of the sophomore year, hopefully you have some direction. But even if you don't, everyone is going to work with you to help you figure out what exactly you want to do. I mean, that's how it works.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kartik. Siddhant, so if you can throw some light or would you like to add something on major declaring process at Berkeley?
Many of my friends have figured out what they want to do by the 4th year or the 3rd year. In fact, Berkeley encourages you to do many things if you think you can. So they encourage double majors or triple majors if you don't want to commit too soon. Now, the policy as it stands is the same as Stanford. You must declare a major by the end of your 2nd year. But that doesn't mean you have to do that major till the end. If you realize later that you want to do something else, pursue something else, you're completely free to change it. All they want to see is that you're committed to something by the end of your second year. And I guess without repeating most of what Kartik said, I think that's the general structure of how this works in the US.